It's a simple tip over, brand new rider, hit the front brake or snatched it with the handlebars turned and down with the bike. It doesn't matter if you're a new rider or an older rider, it could happen to anybody. Hey, Motorman here. This past week I had a brand new rider, just finished the MSF course, got his license, and he happens to have a 2025 Road King, which he hasn't picked up yet, but he knows he's going to need help. Now, a lot of people ask me when I finish the basic course, what size bike should I buy? It really depends. Everybody's a little bit different, but I tell people if you breeze through it and the bike they gave you felt like a toy, you're probably ready for a mid-size bike, maybe even a full-size bike if you're willing to go and put in the practice prior to going out on the street. So this is a private lesson. This rider knew that he needed some help, and he wanted to rent my Electroglide, but I brought the Sportster and the Electroglide, and I said, well, I'll try you on the Sportster. If you do well there, we'll move you up to the Electroglide, and then you'll know the proper techniques and what to do, and you'll know that you need to continue practicing and where your weak points are. So let's go, let's watch the video. So we always start off with the slow race. We spent about 20-25 minutes doing that. That tells me how good a rider is at coordinating the clutch and throttle and using the friction zone. He did okay there, not great, but okay. And then we go through exercise 1, the cone weave. You can't even see the cones, but we're using the small cones here. And yeah, he's very similar to even riders that I've had with 20 years experience. Kind of tentative.
That was a little too much throttle.
At the turn or the whole thing?
Yeah, the whole thing.
Okay.
Now watch how long it takes for him to get going from a dead stop. This is very common for new riders. They want to ease that clutch out ever so slowly. Most riders been riding for even a month or two figure out that you need to get going a lot quicker. Since I mentioned to him about the throttle being too high, now his throttle is kind of too low. He's right at idle. That's okay. Not a big deal. He'll get used to it as he goes along. But he does happen to make that 24-foot U-turn only his second time through the exercise, so that's a good thing, but he's still not ready for the Electroglide. Next, we move on to the bigger cones. That tells the rider if they're dipping the bike enough, because if they don't dip it enough, obviously they're going to hit those cones with the back of the motorcycle. He's still having a problem bringing his revs up while in the friction zone, trying to do it all at idle. Again, very common. But this guy's a retired military. He's been to war. He's even been shot. So he has no fear. It's just a matter of learning the proper techniques and practicing them. Then we move on to exercise 2. This is quick transitions from left to right, right to left. Point being to feel that bike transition. And he's doing pretty well here. In fact, I notice he has no fear of leaning the bike. It's still just a matter of coordinating the clutch and throttle properly so that you never have that clutch out all the way. Because when you let the clutch out all the way and give it a little throttle, it's going to straighten up the bike. But I think it's time now to give him a shot on the Electroglide. So let's see how he does with that. Since he did so well with the Sportster, I said, well, let's give it a try on the Electroglide. And since this rider has a very low fear level, it really doesn't matter for him. He's not afraid of dropping the bike. He knows how to turn his head and eyes. He just has to get a better handle on the friction zone. Most of the time, riders get intimidated by the heaviness of a heavyweight motorcycle. But this rider, like I said, since he virtually has no fear, it's not bothering him at all, and he did pretty well. After running through the intersection exercise on the Sportster a couple of times, I put him back on the Electroglide, and he does just as well. And that's, like I said, because he has a very low fear level. In fact, almost no fear at all of the bike. He's not afraid to lean. It's just a matter of getting that friction zone down pat. He's still at idle. He's in the friction zone, but not giving it quite enough throttle. And when you do that, well, you don't have as much control. Now watch this simple tip over.
All I hear is idle. Let it go, let it go. Let it go.
You know how to pick it up? Because you're going to need to know this. There's 2 ways. I think this is the easiest. Okay, like get your butt on the seat. Pull this to full lock. You don't want to grab the seat. On your bike, if you have a rear crash guard, you want to grab it like this, but there's an amp in the way here. So we use this right here. And start walking backwards. There you go. Walk, 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 until you get the kickstand down. If it fell on the other side, first put the kickstand down and then just walk it onto the kickstand. Hopefully what you've learned from this video is that if you have a very low fear level, go ahead and buy whatever motorcycle you want, as long as you're prepared to go into a parking lot under controlled conditions, hopefully with a professional watching and coaching you, and then you really quick order, you'll be ready to get out on the street. Is this rider ready to go out on the road with this heavyweight motorcycle? I would say not yet. I think one more private class or my regular class with some other riders, and he will be ready. Please subscribe, comment below, and by the way, this coming Sunday, November 16th, we've got openings still for my Ride Like a Pro class. Go to ridelikeapro.com, click on Classes with Motorman, and sign up.